call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation following. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials. Grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Goodar, Green,
Here.
LaFleur, Mistrovich,
Here.
Ricks,
Here.
Schultz,
Here.
Yar.
Here.
Motion to accept both, excuse, yeah, thank you. Excuse both Dennis LaFleur and Jeff Goodar. They're both out of town, one actually out of country, I believe. But separately, if the council would so do, motion to excuse Dennis LaFleur would be in order.
So moved. Support.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Also a motion for Jeff Goodar for being out of town.
Support.
That was good, Jamie. Motions.
The support came before the move.
Well, it was close. It was close, but it was very good.
Go the replay.
You can see what kind of meeting we're going to have tonight, huh?
Trying.
A little concerned about the gap here.
Yeah, that's what it was, the echo problem.
Yeah.
All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. We move on to approval of minutes for our regular meeting of June 16th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on those minutes? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. Let's move on to audience comments on any non-agenda items. Would anybody like to address City Council at this time? We will move on. Adoption of agenda, Mr. City Manager, any changes?
No changes.
Council, any changes?
Nope.
Being not, a motion to accept the agenda as presented be in order.
So moved.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. There's no discussion on that motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We go on to items for consideration, which we have 5 this evening. The first one being consideration of bid award for pavement marking. Mr. City Manager?
Bid requests were sent out and also sent to 2 contractor clearinghouses. We received 1 bid from Zebra Striping, which was opened on June 19th. The submitted cost was $3,085.10. The corrected cost was $3,085.64. There was kind of some confusion on the pavement markings for the municipal parking lot, and the cost for all markings will now be $3,261.20.
Is that reflected in the motion that's recommended?
Yes, so although we broke it out, the totals of all the different numbers there add to that amount I just mentioned.
Very good. Is there a motion before discussion?
I make a motion to award pavement marking contract 2014 PM-2 to Zebra Striping with the expense of $2,155.98 charged to the appropriate line item, contractual services, traffic services, major street fund, and $1,105.23 charged to the appropriate item, contractual services, traffic services, local street fund.
Support.
What's been made and supported? Any discussion? Have we ever used them before?
We have not. Paul Van is here.
Somebody new? Paul, could you come up to the podium?
This is the first time we use this company, but they've been around for a while. They've done pavement marking and parking lot marking in Port Huron and a few other places. The company that we used to always have, A1 Striping,
Yeah.
as far as I can tell, they're out of business.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good.
Do we know who did the new section on Gratiot between
like M19 going up county line up to.
No, that was through
Probably,
the.
was it the same people that did division?
Yes, PK Contracting.
Okay.
They're almost the only game in town now.
There's only one other, RS.
All right, yeah.
And they typically do larger jobs. That's probably why they didn't bid on this one.
Yeah, yeah. But you're getting a lot done, that's for sure. Is that so in your retirement, you're gonna be able to see where to park and walk?
No, that's so that when good old days gets here, we're not scurrying around at the last minute trying to get them done.
There you go. Well, we appreciate that. Any other discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Go right ahead.
No, everything looks good here. It's just, some were missed in noticing that it was Paul's last walk up to the podium to.
It might be.
You know, I think, is there,
I'm sure we can find something.
you know, if there's something else we could, you know, just stay up there the whole meeting. Just
Any audience comments on this item? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. We go on to item number 2, consideration of purchase of 3 police vehicles. Mr. City Manager.
Council is scheduled to consider the purchase of 3 police utility vehicles to replace the 3 2008 Ford Crown Victorias. During the budget workshops, the acquisition of the 3 new patrol vehicles was approved by the City Council. The amount approved was $126,189, or $42,063 per vehicle. As we discussed, General Fund will purchase one of the vehicles and Tifa will purchase the other 2. Over the next 2 subsequent budgets, the General Fund will then pay back Tifa, as we've done with fire trucks, the street sweeper, things of that nature. Also, we talked about the kind of the upfitting costs is an approximation until we start to strip off the equipment out of the cruisers. Some of that stuff may be able to be transferred, others stuff may not be, and so we'll have until that happens, you can't determine exactly what the cost will be, but we estimate that it'll be $12,000 per vehicle. There's money in the drug forfeiture funds to cover that as well. We did not plug in on the revenue side of our budget the sale of these vehicles, so but that'll be a little bit down the road when we get the new vehicles in. With that, we are piggybacking on the state contract, and Chief Teskey is here tonight if you have any questions.
Very good. Chief, did you want to address the council before we? Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve and authorize the city manager to execute the purchase agreement between Signature Ford, State of Michigan Fleet Dealership, and the City of Richmond in the amount of $90,189 for 3 2015 Ford Utility Police Interceptor Patrol Vehicles, and allowance up to $36,000 for the various vendors for upfitting, which is about $12,000 per car.
Support.
What's been made and supported? Any discussion?
yes, Mr. Mayor.
Go right ahead.
Just appreciate Tifa working with us. You know, we've done this type of financing to eliminate interest payments out, you know, not have tax dollars go to interest, and I appreciate Tifa continuing to work cooperatively with us.
Anything else?
Yes, just one thing. I know when we talked during the budget workshop about this, we were going to put either the city's website address or the police department's
Oh, yeah.
on that, and I didn't see that anywhere in the background.
We'll work with the graphics person. I'm sure we can do the city website right across the back.
Good.
We may be able to have him do the cars the other quote-unquote new cars that we have that he did the graphics for.
Is there, maybe Chief could come up. I have a question, Chief. Sure. I noticed Romeo has one, and if it does say police alongside of it, it's very dull. You have to get up and see it. It's almost like it's made in such a way that as it's coming at you, you don't see that. Where I noticed our cars,
Yep.
right now the Tauruses, that white sticks right out. Have you heard anything about that?
There's different paint schemes. Some of the officers, some of the departments like to do a kind of a semi-marked, kind of a subdued, kind of a logo graphic. If we're going to show up, I like people to know who we are and where we're from. So
Okay.
that's why I like the bolder one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any other questions while we have Chief up
I
here?
just would like to note that I agree with the chief on, I like the bold, that people clearly can see that the police are present. Just to
And I
say
just had a
that.
question too, and I know last time, I think it was 2012, when we got the last fleet, that we traded in the previous vehicles. Did we have an option here, or is it the fact that they're so old that we wouldn't get enough?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I went on the website and looked, and because of the high mileage, there's not a lot of resale. We're probably better off eBay or something, some kind of private sale, something like that.
And we've used a variety of methods in the past. We used to cycle through cars more often than we do now. We've gone from anywhere from putting ads in the paper to sending them through the auction that used to be here on Gratiot, and others. I think we used the My Deal program. The last cars, at least one of them went to kind of a taxi company, are some of the companies that typically go after them. We'll have a little while here while these get made to kind of talk to other departments in other cities to find out where are people having the best luck with that.
What kind of timeline are we looking to get delivery?
Anywhere from 60 to 90 days, so
Oh.
so not bad, quick turnaround. So
Okay. Great. So by winter?
just
Y'all will
after the
drive
good
it.
old days, so they'll be here. So.
Yeah. We'll throw a parade for him.
Oh, absolutely.
Anything else of the chief? Thanks, sir.
Thank
Any other discussion? Any audience comments on the item? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 3 is consideration of approving Resolution 2014-8, Community Development Block Grant, Cooperative Agreement with Macomb County. Mr. City Manager.
Council is scheduled to give consideration to Resolution 2014-8, which authorizes the city's participation with Macomb County Community Development Block Grant Program for the 2015 to 2017 program years. We originally opted into the county, we believe, back in about '93. We saw the first resolution. Since then, the resolution has an automatic renewal. We don't, unless we opt out, we kind of continue to stay in the program. The new person at the county has been working with our city planner, who's taken this over from Paul. And due to some language changes at the federal level, all of the communities have to reauthorize that, just the automatic rollover. There is some new language about a couple programs in there, and so all the communities are having to redo their authorizations with the county. That's what this is. Rex has reviewed this and feels it's fine for us to sign it.
Very good, thank you. Is there a motion?
I move to approve Resolution 2014-8, which reauthorizes the city's participation in the Macomb County CDBG program for the 2015-2017 program years, and authorize the mayor to sign on behalf of the city of Richmond.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. Is there any discussion on this? Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 4 is consideration of board appointments. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider making appointments to the Library Board, Planning Commission, and the Tax Increment Financing Authority. All vacancies have been advertised in the Voice. I believe everyone up for your consideration tonight is reapplicants, people that are currently serving on the boards.
Okay. Okay, and I would ask council to reappoint Doug Penzine and Rich Weiner on the Planning Commission, and also Karen Ellis on the Tax Increment Finance Authority. I would ask for your confirmation on those 3 names. All of them have done an excellent job. I've served with Doug and Rich, and Doug's been on there for many, many years. Very, very knowledgeable in our ordinances. And Rich Weinert's been a great addition to the Planning Commission with his background. And of course, Karen Ellis has done a great job on the TIFA. So is there a motion for the Library Board?
Yes, there is.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
I make a motion to reappoint Jennifer Haas to the Library Board for a 2-year term with the expiration date of 6/30/2016.
Support.
It's been made and supported. For Jennifer. Any discussion? Jen, go ahead.
I would like to say something. She
Go
just
ahead.
has tremendous wisdom when it came to the library board, and especially when we were working in that group with the recreation department and the library board together. She was just fantastic on keeping us on track and had great ideas, and I really appreciated and value her as a member of the library board. And I'm very thankful that she is applying again.
Would you like to say the same thing?
No, I just want, just like for the record, as a former representative, I'd like to see her title go down as the Honorable Jennifer Haas, which would be the appropriate title for our council to use.
That's up. Jamie, you made the motion?
Yes, that's fine.
Pardon me?
Yes, it's fine. If that's what it is.
Yeah, they keep their title after they.
Okay. Anything else? Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. We have a motion for the planning commission seat.
Make a motion to confirm the mayor's reappointment of Doug Penzine to the planning commission for a 3-year term with the expiration date of 6/30/2017.
Support.
It's been made and supported. Any discussion? Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion passes. We also have one more planning commission seat open.
I'll make a motion to confirm the mayor's reappointment of Rich Weinert to the planning commission for a 3-year term with an expiration date of June 30th, 2017.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. We have a tax increment finance authority position open. Is there a motion?
I move to confirm the mayor's reappointment of Karen Ellis to the Tax Increment Finance Authority for a 4-year term with the expiration date 6/30/2018.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. We want to thank all of those people that re-upped for their terms that expired. Our last item on the agenda this evening is consideration of formation of a budget review committee. Mr. City Manager?
City Council is scheduled to consider forming a budget review committee to work with administration on a comprehensive review of the City of Richmond's budget. During the budget workshops, there was discussion, and then at the adoption of the budget at last council meeting, again, further discussion on the formation of a committee to take a look at the city's budget and both in greater detail, but also from a big picture standpoint. And council, there was a consensus among council to form a committee.
Thank you, sir. If we could forego council's rules and see who would like to serve on the committee.
Sure.
I know Jeff Yarrick has talked to me and would like to serve on. I would like to serve on. Does anybody else want to serve on?
Nominate an empty chair.
Well, do we need to have 3?
We don't have to. No?
Because I would be comfortable with both you and Councilman Yarrick to serve on the
Okay.
committee.
I'd be interested.
You would be interested?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And we had not heard anything from Dennis or Jeff?
I have not heard from Dennis or
No?
Jeff.
No? Okay. All right. Well, we'll go back. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to establish the Budget Review Committee to review the city budget and make recommendations to the City Council for their considerations and appoint Mayor Tim Ricks, Councilor Jeff Yarrick, and Councilor Mike Mastrovich to serve on the committee with the committee term to expire on December 31st, 2014.
Support.
It's been made and supported. Any discussion? You said one of the things, you know, when the city manager has put out feelers for council to get together for a workshop, July and August have been horrible. And that was to get everybody together. So one of the things I'd like to talk about is the three of us, along with you, try to come up with some dates. And we're just gonna, I mean, if it comes to the point that we can't meet once a month or something, it's not gonna be good. So if we have at least, I would recommend if we have at least 2 councilmen that can make it, we should have those meetings. And I don't know how many meetings we're looking at, but I know in discussions that we'd like to get in pretty deep to take a real hard look at some of the issues that you brought up and you know, that have been brought up at the table before. So maybe we could do the same thing.
I was just going to say, would you like me to email to the 3 of you and put them in your mailbox, like the calendar pages? People could put in both the dates that they're available and times that they'd be back
and
at
even
that
times, you know, instead of just the day itself,
Yeah.
maybe we could do the times too, something on that order. Okay. Any other discussion? Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion passes. Moving on, city manager's comments, sir.
I did receive word from our city engineer today that the city hall plans are, the construction documents are 50 to 60% complete, and we should be getting a copy of those shortly. I do plan on having them on your August roundtable meeting for a little further discussion, review of them, comment period. Also, just to let you know, with the power outage that we had, something is wrong with our city hall internet. So tomorrow, if you're trying to get a hold of me, call me. Email may not work, or text me on my phone. Hope to have it back up and running tomorrow, but something's not right with our modem or our router or something, and it's probably due to the power outage.
Do we know what caused the power outage?
Well, I could
bird?
tell you. Yeah,
That's deceased now, I would imagine.
Yeah, the kind of the very common answer that we get from Detroit Edison, the chief was out at the substation at Low Plank and 32 saying birds in the wires again. And yeah, so. And I know later this week we'll have time to kind of express our gratitude and talk about Paul, but I just wanted to publicly say for those viewing at home just how much I've appreciated his service to the city and also in particular his counsel. Oftentimes call him for kind of background information from kind of a big picture standpoint, and I've been very fortunate to have somebody in his position that can give that to me. You know, he knew a lot about the community and a lot about municipal government in general, much more so than I think most DPW directors in the state, and I appreciate his service.
And on that note, we will be having an open house for Paul this Friday. Is it 2:30?
2:30 to 4:30.
2:30 to 4:30. So there'll be a time that we can all give thanks to Paul for everything you did. Did a hell of a job for a long, long time in this community, and the community's a better place because of you and people like you that dedicate themselves. The other thing I'd like to say is I'm sure our Edison bill will go down because he won't be in there at 11. The person that replaces him will be in there at 11 or 1 o'clock in the morning working on things. But anyhow, outstanding career here in Richmond, Paul. And we will see you Friday. Okay, moving on. Council comments. Michael?
I would just concur also with the spectacular job that Paul Fayadellum has done. I know when I came on council over 12 years ago, that it was very beneficial to get some of the information that he had and continued to provide throughout those years. And also, since we did some appointments, I'd like to also, on a similar note, thank Cy Diger, because I know that he's on the Tifa board. He's he's been multiple years, I don't know, 20 years or so, I'm not sure.
30-some
30-some years, okay.
1988.
1988. So he's done a spectacular job as well and served the community as well. So thank Cy for all his years of service. That's it.
Jeffrey.
I don't know that I can repeat any more than what's already been said. Again, thank you for all those individuals who said, Paul, appreciate his efforts. Appreciate the city manager sending out the picture of him when he started. And,
Well, I didn't see that. Is that right?
It was on the bottom of that email.
It's exactly the same.
Oh, okay.
and
Exactly the
just, you know, government should be stable, and apparently not much has changed from the day he started. Same haircut, the whole from beginning to end.
New ties every so often.
There are new
Like the ties,
but
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
the stability that he's provided.
Jamie.
And I concur as well, and I just appreciate your brilliant mind and be able to figure everything out and plan, and just thank you. Thank you.
Jim?
I concur with everything that's been said, but as we go back to that picture, Paul, your mustache was a lot darker when you came to work here. I just don't understand, you know? But thank you for all your years of service.
That's very good. Okay, let's go to the calendar. Today being July 7th. We have a Cable Commission meeting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on the 8th. We will have a Planning Commission meeting on the 10th at 7 o'clock. There is no BZA.
Correct.
Okay. Well, since we had one in the last 10 years, now I'm wondering if we're going to have another. We do have a blood drive. Richmond Lennox EMS and American Red Cross will be having a blood drive on Thursday, July 10th, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at the Richmond Township offices. And those are the offices that are located at School Section and M19, north of the city of Richmond. That is on the 10th, 9 to 9. Paul's last day at the DPW will be Friday the 11th. And again, we wish you well, Paul. We move on to the 21st of July will be the next regular city council meeting. Tifa will be meeting on the 23rd at 7 o'clock here at City Hall. And the kids-only garage sale put on by our Parks and Recreation Department will be held on July 26th from 10 to 1. If you have any questions or you would like to set up a spot, probably call the Parks and Rec at 727-3064. And that would take us into August. We're not going to go there yet. We just got into July. Time's flying. We move on. There is no closed session. Is there any other business of the City Council this evening? Being not, motion to adjourn be in order.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Support?
What's been made and supported, there is no discussion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion passes. Thank you for being with us.